Welcome to my entry into the collaboration of the hashtag showusyourfattie. I'm TJ, this is Culinary Undertaking. If you're watching, that makes you a culinary undertaker. So welcome undertakers. Again, this is part of the hashtag called showusyourfattie. I'll put a link below so you can click on that so you can watch other videos in this entry. And basically, a fatty is just a meatloaf wrapped in bacon. It's pretty simple. I'll show you my version of that. It's really good. You can do it. And so with all that out of the way, let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to start off with our meatloaf. Now if you have a favorite meatloaf recipe, use that. This is how I'm going to make mine. Now in here I've got 3 pounds of some sirloin steaks that I had. I ground them up a few minutes ago and just made my own ground beef out of that. And to that I'm going to add some hot Italian sausage. These were links, but I took the casing off. So I'm just going to add these in here. And I've got 4 of them. I don't know how much they weigh. Alright, there's our sausage. Now I'm going to put a couple of eggs in here. Then to that, I've got a chunk of some Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to shred a lot of that in here. Alright, so that's at least a cup. There's a bunch of that in there. So some fresh Parmesan cheese. Then I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. That's probably about maybe a teaspoon of salt. Some fresh pepper. This is all to taste, however much you want. Then I've got some of this Traeger brand rub. That's probably about a tablespoon of the rub. So now it's just time to get down and dirty. Alright, so there's our mixed up meatloaf meat. So I'm just going to set this aside and we're going to have a filling that's going to go in it and we're going to start on that next. Alright, for a simple filling we're going to put inside the meatloaf. I've got 1 block of warmed up cream cheese here. I didn't microwave it, it's just been sitting out of the refrigerator for a couple hours. And to that I'm going to add more of the same rub. You use whatever rub you want, but I'm going to use the same kind that I put in our meatloaf mix. And that's probably a couple of teaspoons there, maybe a tablespoon. And then to that, I'm going to add a bunch of cheese. I'm not going to measure this, just a couple of good handfuls of cheese here. Like that. And just kind of work those together. Alright, so our cheeses are combined, and to that, I've got some poblano peppers. This is 2 whole poblanos. I fire roasted them earlier, then I scraped them off, chopped them up just into big pieces. We'll get that in there. And then just kind of mix these in with our cheese. Alright, that's going to be good. So now we want to take our cheese, combine it with our meat. Okay, so here I just have a baking sheet with a silicone mat on it, and we're going to put our meatloaf on there. And then I just want to work this into just sort of a rough rectangle, kind of flatten it out a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. So we'll put that up there. So there, it's about as long as our bacon, so right now that's good. And then down here in the middle, I do want to make a little trough. And then we can even this back up here when we're done. And then in our trough, we'll put our cheese mixture. Alright, so there's our cheese mixture. Now we just want to close it up. And if you need to, if you get too much on one side and you have a thin spot, just move it around, make it work. And make sure your seam's closed up really nice in the top. Alright, so there's our meatloaf with our final shaping. Now, let's get our bacon we've done and we'll lay it right across the top. Alright, if you've never made a bacon weave before, it's really simple. Just get yourself some bacon. And just start laying out some strips next to each other in a row. Now you want to make your row about as wide as one of your pieces of bacon is long, so right about there. And then, to make the weave part, it doesn't matter where you start. You can start with the two center ones or the middle one and the two outside ones, but take two of them, fold them back halfway, lay a strip across, cover it back up, like that. Then take the other pieces, pull them back, just like that, and just keep repeating. And there you go, there's your bacon weave. Now we're going to leave it on the foil. That's going to help us to be able to pick it up and put it on top of the meatloaf without it falling apart. Alright, so we've got our meatloaf, we've got our bacon. Now we just want to transfer one onto the other. Just like that. Oh, look at that, it fits perfect. See, I told you this was simple. Nothing to it. 3 quick steps. Make your meat, make your filling, make your bacon weave, put them together. And look at that. How awesome is that? And it's going to taste great. Now, I'm cooking mine on a smoker today. You can cook yours on a grill, in the oven, however you want to cook it. Now I'm going to put it in at 225 for an hour. Then after that, we're going to bump the temperature up so that it gets a little hotter so the bacon will get crispy on top. And we'll cook it till it gets to an internal temp of 160. And then it's ready to eat. So let's get it going. Hey, how'd that get there? Alright, so our first hour in, you can see where we're at. The bacon's got a ways to go to get crispy. I just took the temp, and we're temping in the low hundreds, 101, 102, somewhere in there, depending on where the probe goes. So now I'm going to turn this up to 325 from the 225, and we'll let it go till it hits 160. Alright, while we wait for our meatloaf to finish, I'm going to put together a quick glaze. We'll put that on probably the last 10 minutes or so of the cook. So to get it ready, I've got some jelly. I'm using apple here. You could use whatever you want. Apricot or something like that. We're not measuring this. I'm just going to take a big spoonful or two. Put that over low heat. I'm going to hit it with a splash of water. Alright, that's all there is to it. Just melt it down until the jelly is liquefied like that. A little bit of water. Then we're just going to turn off the heat, let it sit here and cool down till the meatloaf is ready, and we'll be all set. Alright, it's been about another hour and 10 minutes. You can see the bacon's getting nice and crispy. We're oozing a little cheese, but that's okay. And we've got about 5 degrees to go before we're done. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and paint our glaze on there. Oh, look how good that is. Perfect. That glaze is nice. Now, normally I wouldn't cut into the center of a meatloaf, but we know that's where we need to be for this one. Prepare. Here it comes. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. And just like that, simple and easy, just like I told you at the beginning, nothing to it. Make up your meatloaf, put a little filling in it, put a bacon weave over the top, and bam, you've got dinner. Everyone's gonna love it. Not only does it look nice, but it tastes great. So I hope you give it a try. And don't forget to check out the other hashtag Just Show Us Your Fatty videos. Again, the link will be down below. Click on that hashtag and watch other great ideas on how to make one of these. So thank you for being here. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.